A very phenomenal situation we had here on the USTEC 100 yesterday. It was a very profitable trade for us, despite I remember we were expecting a bearish momentum. Remember, we saw a potential reversal pattern which we identified, and it was looking more like an head and shoulder pattern where the 15,550 level was serving as a neckline of that reversal pattern, and we were looking forward to a breakdown retest of that structure to capture a bearish move to the downside. And as you can see, that never happened in the last 24 hours. Now, in addition to this reversal pattern here, you know how we do it in this community. We don't want to get ourselves stocked up on a particular idea. We want to be as dynamic and flexible as well. So if we have a bias in the market, we also want to take into consideration the opposite direction too as well by checking the potentials of the opposite participants in the market. And during our live session yesterday, while we were anticipating the breakdown of the neckline at the 15,550, we also consider the potentials of the buyers too. And if you recall vividly, at the beginning of the week, we had a beautiful channel which was identified, which emphasized the level of indecision in the market at the early hours of yesterday's trading session, as we had price action confined between the 15,600 and of course the 15,530 level. And you know how we do it in this community. Whenever we have this kind of flat channel, we want to remain patient, waiting for price action to either break down to give us an opportunity to sell, which never happened of course, or the breakout of the resistance line to give us an opportunity to buy. And with our orders placed at both ends, we had our buy position triggered. In fact, if you had missed out on that one, within the hour, the market came back to retest that structure to give us the second chance to be part of that move. And since that moment, price action had continued to climb, find new highs here. And if you are taking advantage of that opportunity and you're still currently in that trade, you will presently be running with over 90 pips in profit. For those who are taking advantage of this opportunity, well done to you for being on standby to have caught this move. As you all know, at this point, you know how we do it. The next thing we want to be doing right now is to ensure that we secure this current position by moving our stop losses accordingly to lock in this profit, as we don't want to lose out on this one we have made. And of course, while trying to lock in our profit, we want to ensure that we give room for price action to breed, with the hopes that price action may still continue to the upside. So with the current market structure we have here, I will be suggesting that we move all stop losses to anywhere right below the 15,670 zone and that area above the 15,640, as this is enough room for price action to breed, hoping that price action will continue to the upside. So with a well secured position at this juncture in the market, what is going to be our next line of action for today? So the first thing I would like us to do here before going into the details of what to look out for today is to let's scale up into a higher time frame so that we can see things from an holistic point of view and realign our position with what we have on the 1 hour time frame. So in order to do this, I want to quickly show you what we saw on the higher time frame, that is the 1 hour time frame, during our live session yesterday. So this is the 4 hours time frame right here, and remember we identified something that was looking like an ascending channel after connecting the series of higher highs, as you can see, and the series of higher lows here. So we had something like this. Hold on a second, let me show you. So this is the higher low, and then we had the higher highs, and of course within the range we have a ascending trend line here, which I told us all yesterday that we are going to be using to guide our trading activity. And one thing we saw prior to the New York session yesterday was how price action was consolidating along our key level at the 15,550, which also shares a confluence with that ascending trend line. So we said there yesterday that we are at a critical point in the market where anything could actually happen, and we could either see price action respecting the trend line to push price further to the upside, or we could see a situation where price will break down the trend line to incite a sell-off, probably into the support line of that ascending channel. Now, with the situation, we saw price respected this trend line, so we shall continue to use this trend line as our yardstick to guide trading activity for today. So I will extend that one out a little bit and then do some readjustment here so that it can capture majority of the pivot low we have on the structure. Now that we have this all marked out on our charts, another key important level here is the 15,725 level. Now remember, this level was the highest point price action has been so far, and we said here that we are going to be looking forward to a breakout retest to join a bullish move. But one interesting thing happened here yesterday, as we saw that as soon as price action got into that level, we begin to see some selling pressure around that area. And in fact, in the last 24 hours now, price action has been finding it difficult to break above that area, further giving us clues that sellers might likely be around this area to push price to the downside. And if we compare what happened around this area with what did happen there last week Friday, we saw another selling pressure. We saw another one here. Now the question at this point in time is, will this turn out to be a reversal pattern, probably in the form of a double top structure to incite a strong bearish move to the downside? Or are we going to be seeing a trend continuation pattern that will finally break out of the 15,725 to incite an uptrend continuation? Now, considering the fact that we are looking forward to the retail sales data coming in from the US docket today, this data here will have a major impact on price action. And in fact, we are beginning to see the anticipation of participants in this market ahead of the event, as price action remains consolidating, further emphasizing the level of indecision in the market. So at this point in time, this whole consolidation phase we have here could transition into either a trend continuation if it breaks out of the structure to the upside, or a reversal pattern if price action drops below the support line. So what we are going to be doing here to have a better understanding of what is going on here is for us to scale down into a much more lower time frame, which is the 1 hour time frame where we shall be making our decision for today. Now, scaling back down into the 1 hour time frame, our center of focus is around here, so we shall just zoom right in to the structure. Now, don't forget the ascending trend line we identified on the higher time frame right here, and we've agreed that as long as price remains above this ascending trend line, we shall feel comfortable in our buy positions, while we also look out for more opportunities to buy. Now, the question now is, will price come back into the trend line to retest it to incite another wave, or are we going to be seeing a breakdown of the trend line to incite a sell-off? So in fact, for us to sell the USTEC 100 today, we would need a breakdown retest of this ascending trend line for us to sell, and that will have confirmed that the sell pressure here have come to stay. So please consider this while trying to sell the USTEC 100. Now let's talk about the potentials of buyers at this point. So for me, I would like to bring out my line chart here. Very, very important. We want to identify the support line of this range, which falls around here, and that is the 15,000, let me see, 15,675 level. So we want to mark this level out on our chart, 15,675. All right, so we have it right there. So we just place it there and then bring back our candle chart. Now you can see price is within a range right now between the 15,725 and the 15,675. So the breakdown of the 15,675 also shares a confluence with that descending trend line, and of course that will welcome the selling opportunity here, probably into that support line where the TP target will be. But if price action continues to find higher highs here, and leading into the breakout of the 15,725, then we want to be joining a trend continuation to the upside. Now, for those who are already profitable on the USTEC 100, like me now, I've been in this position since yesterday. I can afford to leverage on the profit I've made so far to test waters around that area by placing a buy stop order above the 15,725. To capture that move, then we have our stop loss sitting somewhere just right close to this level, which will dovetail to about 45 to 50 pips thereabout. But for those who are yet to take a position on the US Tech 100, and right now this is your first position here, I will suggest that you remain cautious. So you want to wait for the breakout of that 15,725 to happen. After it does happen, we scale down into our lower time frame, like the 15 minutes, 10 or even 5 minutes time frame, to look out for a retest of structure, followed by continued buy pressure around or above this area to join the trend continuation to the upside. So this is how we are going to be managing our trade on the US Tech 100 for today. So if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to let me know in the comment section.